Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about having an Aquarius Sun and a Sagittarius Ascendant in a natal chart. Now, these two signs are compatible by sign. They're both masculine, meaning they're both extroverted. They're both optimistic and positive. You look at Aquarius Sun, they're very similar in their own way too. You look at Aquarius Sun, can be very independent and freedom loving, and you look at a Sagittarius rising as it can be about freedom and not really having constraints, and not really, it's a person that doesn't really like people dictating their course of action. And Aquarius is non-conforming and likes to do things a lot of times in their own way, in their own time, I think. So you have these energies are very similar, of course, and they are compatible. And when I look at this is somebody that really is about having a very positive, optimistic type nature. You have another thing where they're similar is you have Aquarius Sun can be very progressive and being futuristic, while you have Sagittarius rising can be very visionary. And Sagittarius rising can complement that Aquarius energy by bringing perhaps those things connected with their progressive ideas, their innovative thoughts, perhaps to fruition through the vision, through being having the visionary Sagittarius rising, through Sagittarius vision, so to speak, or Sagittarius rising vision. Well, anyway, people, when you look at natal chart, the sun sign represents our basic ones, while the rising sign or ascendant can represent the manner or method in which one attains these basic wants. So, for Aquarius Sun, the basic wants can be connected with freedom, friendship, things for the collective good, even global interests, being different or unique, being part of a group, reform, being progressive, and also things connected with goals and aspirations. And Aquarius can emphasize things that are goal-oriented. So, in having Sagittarius rising, well, the manner or method in which this person may attain these basic wants can be with a lot of unbridled enthusiasm, with a lot of exuberance, with a lot of positive Sagittarius energy, Sagittarius rising energy, and by being philosophical and really having a good attitude toward things, and taking a lot of things perhaps with the grain of salt, by also perhaps by being jocular as far as the friendships may go. That could be one example, by being more flexible than the typical Sun in Aquarius. They may reach their aspirations with a lot of that Sagittarius energy, and being very upbeat, and really having that positive attitude, and not kind of like the person who falls off the horse but is able to get back on, so to speak. So, and I think they could pursue one or more of these things in the ways I described with the Sagittarius energy. And really what makes this interesting too is you have Aquarius Sun, which could be very humanitarian, and what they could do is they might inject this energy into Sagittarius-like field. And also one of the things that I talked about as far as Aquarius basic wants, perhaps one or more of them, may be attained through a Sagittarius-like profession, such as teaching, philosophy, something with theology or religion, something that might be connected with long distance traveling or exploration. They might put a lot of selfless energy into this. And I have a friend who I believe has Aquarius Sun and Sagittarius Ascendant, and he's very like religious person, and he goes he's one of the people that like go door to door. And he tries to, I guess, instill his religious belief and tries to, I guess, as far as saving people. And I think it's a good example of somebody that incorporates that selfless Aquarian energy into something that is connected with religion. And religion is something that's often prominent with Sagittarius people, and Sagittarius rising, of course, no exception. Well, anyway, people, it's important to look at the aspect, if any, that is made between these energies, as this could indicate how these energies may integrate or not integrate as well. Well, let's take a sextile aspect, for example. They are sextile by sign, so the signs are compatible by sign. However, if you have the sextile aspect, this could even accentuate and really reinforce this energy even more positively. Let's take, for example, somebody having the Aquarius Sun at 25 degrees and a Sagittarius Ascendant at 28 degrees. That would form a sextile aspect which is auspicious and positive. And you can have a very positive blending with this energy, perhaps even more than just the Sagittarius Ascendant in the sextile by sign to Aquarius Sun just by itself. Now, you could also have a semi-sextile aspect, which is a minor aspect, but it's still positive. Now, let's say you have the Aquarius Sun at 0 degrees and the Sagittarius Ascendant at 29 degrees. Well, this would form a semi-sextile aspect, which it's still auspicious and positive, and like what I described before with the sextile, but it's minor and it's modified and it's not as strong or as intensified as the sextile aspect, because it is a minor one as opposed to a major aspect. Now, on the negative side, you could have an out of sign square aspect take place. Now, let's say the Aquarius Sun is at 29 degrees and you have a Sagittarius Ascendant at 1 degree. That could be adverse or adversarial, and that would be an out of sign sextile aspect. Now, even though you still have the compatibility by sign, you may still, even if the person is not cognizant of his or her astrological placements, there might be some feelings of maybe being misconstrued or misunderstood by others, which could, because of what they're projecting outwardly, they may feel is strongly different than what is going on inside. At least that's how that person may feel. And it could lead to inner feelings of tension and exasperation because of that. Now, because you have that square aspect, you'd still would have a little bit more tension with those energies because of this, even though they are compatible by sign. Now, you could also have a semi-square aspect take place, which is like the square but not as strong. Let's say you have the Aquarius Sun at 6 degrees and a Sagittarius Ascendant at 21 degrees. Well, that would form a semi-square aspect. And like the square aspect, well, this is actually, I call it slightly adverse or adversarial, because it's not as intense as a square aspect, but it is still negative and adverse, and it'd be like what I described before with the square aspect, but just not as strong or as intense. Well, anyway, it's important to look at the house placement of the Sun in Aquarius, because even though the Sagittarius Ascendant energy may somewhat suppress the Aquarius Sun energy, at least on the surface to others, it's still, the Aquarius Sun energy may still come out at least somewhat prominently in that particular house that it is posited in. Now, let's say the Aquarius Sun is posited in the first house. Well, the first house being an angular house, well, this energy might come out even more strong on a first impression than as opposed to it being in the second or third house, because it would be in the first house of the outer personality. The person, I think, would still come across more as a Sagittarius as far as their outer demeanor and their first impression, but that eccentric, eclectic Aquarius energy might still come out a little bit stronger with the Sagittarius Sun, because with the Sagittarius rising because of this. Now, let's say the Aquarius Sun is posited in the second house. Well, this could indicate that this Aquarius Sun, this unorthodox side, the originality, the ingenuity, might come out in matters pertaining to generating income. This person might have a unique way or original manner of maybe making money. It could indicate that maybe their possessions are strongly connected with Aquarian-like things, perhaps such as electronics, computer-like items, and modern innovations, so forth and so on. Also, if the Aquarius Sun is posited in the third house, this Aquarius Sun energy may come out strongly in their communications with others. It might be presented in their neighborhood, in their local community, so to speak, and in matters with their maybe local journeys and short journeys in that particular neighborhood, and with siblings if applicable. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for having an Aquarius Sun and a Sagittarius Ascendant in a natal chart. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about having an Aquarius Sun and a Capricorn Ascendant in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.